global smartphone market is entering a new phase in 2026. The key trend to watch is this. The industry is shifting away from volume growth and towards the cost and value-driven restructuring. Because after 2 years of the recovery, 2026 will be defined less by how many phones are shipped and more by what consumers can afford and prefer, and especially how vendors can define and defend their value to the consumers. A main driver behind this shift is the rising memory cost. In 2026, higher DRAM and NAND prices are expected as AI data centers absorb a growing share of the global memory supply. And this creates a cost shock for consumer electronics, which includes smartphones. The impact is strongest for the mass market segment. Entry-level devices have driven the global volume growth and recovery, especially in those emerging markets. But as the BOM cost rise, vendors may no longer be able to fully absorb these increases. And as a result, our 2026 outlook shifts to a mild 100% decline in global smartphone shipments. It's not because the demand disappears, but because the affordability starts to break down at the volume, at the low end in the short term. So what we will see is a deeper market polarization because the premium segment remains relatively resilient, supported by AI features, stronger ecosystems, and financing programs. Meanwhile, the mass market will face short-term pressure, particularly in the regions exposed to sub-US $150 devices. This is not just a temporary disruption. It signals a broader structure reset of the smartphone industry. So vendors are responding by focusing on value, not solely volume. Firstly, device financing is becoming more critical. According to Omdia's latest consumer study, 26% of the consumer already use the installment scheme or financing programs when they buy their smartphones. And vendors are expanding these programs, especially to the emerging market, to protect the demand and gain market share from their competitors. And secondly, AI is redefining the differentiation of the products. Because in the mid to high-end segment market, AI is no longer just a feature add-on, it's becoming central to user experience differentiation and the ecosystem lock-in. And also the consumer attitude reflects these shifts. According to our consumer study, today 67% of the consumers say AI features are important or very important. They are in their next phone purchase. So the key trend to watch in 2026 is not only about the rising cost, it's how vendors balance three things: the pricing discipline, financing innovation, and the ecosystem-driven value. The smartphone vendors that get this balance right will adapt to and also shape the next purchase of the global smartphone market. Omdia is closely monitoring the vendor strategy towards the memory cost, device financing development trend, and consumer usage and the preference of the devices, also the cutting-edge technologies. So get in touch with us, know what is coming.